Hey, everybody, and welcome back. We've got an exciting stock to talk about today, as I want to keep presenting all of you with interesting opportunities for what I consider to be undervalued companies that are poised for significant growth in the future. So again, think long-term, hold on, establish positions when these stocks are young and growing rapidly. But what's the catalyst? What's going on? So specifically, Ceragon Networks, founded in 1996, call symbol of CRNT, headquartered in Israel, with worldwide offices and NASDAQ listed. So what do? They design and manufacture their own wireless communication systems and equipment. So what's so intriguing about that? Well, their tagline is that they deliver connectivity everywhere. Okay, like to hear that. Customers appear to be top-tier customers. What intrigues me about Ceragon is just their global geographical disbursement of their business. They've got a huge business in India, North America, Africa, Europe. They seem to be just about everywhere. And they have their own proprietary chipsets that they design for their own networks and their own software, of course. So they seem to be an end-to-end provider of network capability. And of course, they also proclaim that they have artificial intelligence embedded into their networking system, specifically their management software as well, which will help with all kinds of things such as speeding up network processing and energy efficiency. So these are all good things and music to our ears. With an addressable market, as they see it, as $11 billion now and growing rapidly in their space, they think there's a lot of room to grow. And I tend to agree with them by looking at what they're all about. I guess the big component here for Ceragon Networks is that they have recently become profitable. This is a tough thing to achieve for a lot of technology companies as they pour money into research and development, setting up infrastructure, establishing their businesses, and then they sell. It takes a long time for some businesses to become profitable. They are now here, and both from an income perspective and from a cash flow perspective. So let's take a little bit closer look at some of the stock fundamentals, make sure that's in jive and in running congruent with what we're seeing from an overall perspective. Ceragon Networks, CRNT, the company that proclaims that they are in 130 countries worldwide, 1,600 private networks, and over 600 service providers that they do business with. That's, again, very geographically dispersed and quite impressive, actually. A market cap of just over $400 million. How does that equate? So let's jump real quickly down to their revenue. They just had a Q3 quarterly release for revenue, which showed a 17% increase to $103 million. Quite impressive. That run rate, and actually they're projecting their 2024 revenue to be in the neighborhood of $390 to $400 million. So when you look at a market cap of about $400 million, it's trading at about 1x sales, which is, for a technology company with some good momentum, that's very reasonably priced and actually undervalued in my perspective. So look at the price, $4 and roughly 70 cents a share, give or take, depending when you look at it, of course. It's had a pretty good run up this year because they came in profitable in Q3, and that's expected to roll forward now. So it's up about 116% year to date. 5-year about 120%. So most of that gain is coming just in the heels over the last few months. And then when you look at kind of a historical, it's still down about 80% since when they came public. So very interesting. This tells us that this is an undervalued play with a lot of room to run. I guess, what does their cash and debt look like? It's they've got a growing cash pile, and the debt is very reasonable and appears to be a very liquid company, despite growing sales and not much and a lot of R&D investment. This actually, liquidity looks quite strong. So I'm very pleased when I look at that. The other component that I found interesting is that insiders own just under 23% of Ceragon Networks. So that's pretty high insider ownership, and that also bodes very well for you as an investor is that your interests are aligned very closely with management and the board's objectives. So when you step back and take a look and you look at the growth that's coming in, both revenue and an income basis, you look at their pipeline of customer opportunities, which appears to be quite robust. There is good momentum. There's buy ratings. Earnings look solid. This looks to be a company that's poised and ready to grow, and they're touching on artificial intelligence as well. So if you've got the gumption for a networking type company that designs their own chipsets and has a lot of proprietary technology, Ceragon Networks could be for you. I've added it to my portfolio, and we'll look to add more over time, and think it's just an interesting opportunity. Let me know what you're doing, if you agree with this, if you have any other thoughts, and of course, if you want me to take a look at any other companies, I'll put it to the list, and we'll take a look. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk with you again soon.